Hey you guys, and welcome back to another video here with Angel B Designs. I'm Angel B. Thank you so much for watching. If you are new here, welcome. If you're not, welcome back. In today's video, you guys, we are going to be doing the texture fill stitches with the small satin border. I wouldn't say perfected this, but I have been using it a lot lately, and I have been getting a lot of questions on how to do this. Now, we did go over this in the Angel B Academy, which is a school spelled SKOOL. It's a school academy that I started back in January. It's just a community of crafters. We all kind of come together and we help each other out. We do get on Zoom once a week. Typically on Mondays, sometimes Tuesdays if we have to move it around, but we go on Zoom once a week to go over different types of crafts and tutorials. This was, I think, one of the first Zooms that we did back in January. And I have seen some beautiful stitch out from the members of the academies. If you're interested in joining the Angel B Academy, I'll leave a link down below for you. But this is what we're gonna go over today. So this is the texture fill stitching that I created in Embrilliance. You can go ahead and do this in Stitch Artist level 1, 2, or 3. And then we have a very small, I don't know if you can see it, very small satin border around. Now, this was just a test stitch, so I did have a little bit of stabilization issues just because it was a test stitch. I put it on some scrap material. I didn't want to waste my water soluble. However, the video isn't necessarily about the stitch out. I just stitched it out so you guys could see how it looks up close. Absolutely love this texture stitching. It's one of my favorite fill stitches. And then I add that small satin border going around just to kind of give it that professional look and that professional finish. So we're going to be in Embrilliance for most of the video today. I'm going to show you how to create this from scratch using a TrueType font. The fonts and all of my materials and everything will be linked down in the description box. So definitely make sure that you are checking there. But this is what we are doing today, guys. So definitely make sure you are sticking around for that. All right, you guys, we're going to go ahead and get started on the computer. Now, I am in Stitch Artist level 3. However, this can be done. The features I'm using today are simple features that you will have access to in level 1, 2, or 3. The only thing that you need to have is to be able to use some type of font. So I'm using a TrueType. And I do believe you can use the TrueType text in level 1 as well, if I'm not mistaken. But the only thing that we're bringing in is our own font from Creative Fabrica. I will try to remember to leave a link for the font down in the description box, but I'm going to show you everything from start to finish, how to create this file, and then we will do a quick stitch out at the end. So I'm going to be designing an 11 by 13 hoop because that is what my machine is set up for. So, and this is pretty much the hoop that I use just anytime I'm embroidering on my multi-needle machine. 9 times out of 10, unless I'm doing like a left chest logo, I'm using my 11 by 13 hoop. So that's the hoop size here that I'm going to be designing in, but you can design in whatever size hoop that you have. Just make sure your hoop is already set on your canvas here. So up here at the top is your create designs button. It looks like a little fan. We're going to go ahead and select that. And then over here to the left is your TrueType button. Now you'll see vector and image for mine because I do have like level 3. If you have level 1, you may not see these, but we're just going to be using our TrueType. Now this is the font that I'm using. It is called Cute Bold. And like I said, I will try to remember to leave a link for it down below. I got it from Creative Fabrica, creativefabrica.com. And I'm going to type in the word in all capital letters, Grace. This type of stitching looks the best if you have a thicker kind of font and you're not that good with satin columns. I have noticed that if I can't get my satin column to look the way that I want, then I'll just revert to a fill stitch. And it looks just the same. I have to sneeze, you guys. I'm sorry. Okay. So we're gonna go ahead and press OK, and now we have our word here on the canvas. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm with the entire word selected, I'm going to right click, I'm going to copy, I'm going to right click again, and I'm going to paste because we are going to need two different layers. So over here in the objects panel, if you don't see your objects panel, go up to view. If you're I'm on a Windows PC, it'll say toolbars and Windows. If you are on a Mac, it'll probably just say tools or something like that. Um, and then just make sure that your object window and your properties window is checked. Okay. And then, so the objects, we're over here in the objects panel. So I'm going to start with the first layer, which we're going to make our fill stitching. So I'm going to go ahead and highlight the first layer, which is this one here, GRACE. We're just going to work with this first layer, this first word. Okay. And then we're going to go up to our stitches here, which is up here at the top. And I am going to select fill. And then it's going to go ahead and it's going to fill the stitches. And then down here in the properties, you will see all of these options show up, but this is how it looks. So this one is the texture. Normally, it typically populates with either no pattern or a tatimi pattern, which this is a tatimi pattern. It's more of just kind of a plain professional type of pattern. But let me show you. So I'm going to zoom in. This is the tatimi pattern. My favorites are waves. So brick is really nice too. This one right here is brick. So brick is really nice. I like brick. But my favorites are brick, waves 2. This one is waves 2. I love that one. Diamond 3 is another favorite of mine. This one looks similar to a Tatimi, but a little bit more cute to me. And then my absolute favorite is texture. This is my absolute favorite one. This is the texture fill. I'm going to go ahead and stick with this one, the texture fill. And then the density, I'm going to put on, let's see. I think I'm going to put it on 3.5 and I'll add a travel edge. And then everything else I'm going to leave the same. And I'm going to go ahead and change the color. So let's do pink. Okay, on the G and the C, you'll see these little dark spots here. You can try to fix that, and the way you would do that, make sure that your create tab is selected and then select the letter. And then this red and the green, these are your start and stop points. If you manipulate these a little bit, like bring it down, then it might change it. So it did change it a little bit. It just turned the whole letter dark and now it has one little light spot. Sometimes I'm not able to get it to be completely one solid color. So now you see you have a light spot here and a light spot there. If you can get it to be either all dark or all light, see now it's half and half, then that would be ideal. The problem is I'm not always able to get it. Sometimes there's always a little bit of a spot. Uh-oh, you don't want to move a node. And I did it again. Yeah, I'm just going to move them both back up to the top and just be okay, or was it at the bottom? And just be okay with this little small light spot here. And then this one I'm not gonna mess with. It's gonna be fine with this little small dark spot. I'm just gonna assume I won't be able to fix that one as well. Like I said, sometimes it's a little small white spot here. So yeah, that's gonna be fine. I'm gonna go ahead and make all of these dark. So I'm gonna highlight the R. Nope, I'm gonna take the R back to where it was actually. It was all light. So I'm just gonna leave it like that. So now the G and the C is dark and then the RAE is light, but that's fine. Okay, so what we're gonna do now is we're gonna go to the second layer here, this GRACE, that's the second layer. We're gonna highlight all of the letters. This is going to be our satin border. So we're gonna go ahead and make sure our Create tab is selected, and then we're going to check satin border. And then you should see the satin border populate. It's gonna populate in a different color, and this is what it will look like. And so what I'm going to do, the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take the width all the way down to 1.0. I just want a nice little like small satin border around it just to give it that clean edge, that professional finish. This is personal preference. You can make it thicker, you can make it thinner. I like mine to be thinner. And I'm going to put the density on 4.0. And then I'm going to make the color the same color as the text. So now if we zoom in, you have your fill stitching with a very small satin border around it, and it just gives it, like I said, that clean, professional kind of finish to it. Um, Now over here in the objects panel, I do want to play with the spacing of these a little bit, but I need to play with the spacing on both the fill and the satin border. So two things. One, I want to be able to move the G fill and the G satin border at the same time. Number two, I want the full G to stitch out together. Now, the way that it's lined up or the way that it's placed now, it's going to do all of the fill stitching first, and then it's going to go back and do the satin border. I want it to do the fill stitching for the G and the satin border for the G. So I want the full G to be stitched out at one time and then move on to the R, and then stitch everything on the R at one time and then move on to the A. So to do that, I'm just going to click this G, drag and bring it up to the other G. So now the way that the order is, it's going to fill stitch the G and then satin border the G. If you can't drag and drop, you can just right click and select move earlier or move later. So for the A, we can right click, move earlier, right click, move earlier if your drag and drop is not working. Okay, so now I want to play with the spacing a little bit. I'm going to start by moving the R. So I'm going to highlight the fill R and the satin border R. And with the arrows on my keyboard, I'm going to move it over 1. Then I'm going to highlight the G fill and the G satin border. And with the arrows on my keyboard, move this over 2. And then I'm going to go to the C and move that over. And then I'm going to take a look at it. And that spacing looks good. So now we're pretty much done. I am going to resize this a little bit. It is kind of big. So I'm going to select all of the letters, the fill, the border, everything. And I'm going to resize it to be like 10.5. Okay, that looks good. So I'm pretty much done with my file now. I'm going to go up to my stitch simulator. Everything is one color, but you're going to do this just to make sure that your fills and your satin borders are stitching the way that you want them to. Um, so this is showing me that it's going to do all of the fill stitching. And then it's going to do the satin border. Then it's going to move on to the R and do all of the fill stitching and the satin border, and then move on to the A. So everything is going to stitch out in the order that I wanted to stitch out in. Okay. So I'm going to go ahead and save this to my computer. I will probably do a sped up version of the stitch out because this video was mostly just about showing you how to create a file like this, but I do want to show you the finished stitch out so that you can actually see it. So I'm going to go ahead and get this on my machine and then get it stitched out, and I will show you the final result. All right, you guys, so it is all done stitching out, and this is the final result. I do want to note, and I want you guys to keep in mind, fill stitches like this do take longer. So this is a 51-minute stitch out just because of the amount of like detail in the pattern and things like that. It is very, very, very beautiful. I did have a couple issues with my bobbin in some spots here. But this was just a test stitch. I just put this on some scrap fabric. Also, when you're doing a design like this, because it is so dense on the front, I would also suggest putting water soluble. I did not do that because, again, this was just a test stitch for you guys and I wanted you guys to see it. I didn't want to waste my material. But for a actual stitch out, you should definitely put water soluble on top. The water soluble on top is because these are dense detailing, and it helps the stitches to really sit on top of your garment, and it really helps the detail to pop. This is still, even without the water soluble, it looks good. However, there's just a few little imperfections that I know the water soluble would have fixed. But yeah, that is all I have for this video, guys. I hope this was helpful. I hope I answered some questions for you. That is all I have. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. Until next time, bye, guys.